What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the garage. Today we got an unboxing from RABID BAITS. Pretty excited about this box. Those who don't know RABID BAITS, they're a bait company predominantly making finesse plastics out of, I believe, Vermont. Yeah, Vermont. Or maybe New Jersey. I'm not entirely sure where they're based, but they're based in the East Coast somewhere. But their big thing is that they do finesse plastics with marabou kind of skirts or tails on them, and lots of action, tons of movement in the water as that marabou is kind of floating around and everything like that in the water. So recently they posted on their Instagram that they're having some new bundles, and I jumped on them because I've been a fan of theirs now for a while, since giving them a second shot. Those of you subscribed to Monster Bass, you may have seen some of their things come through last few months or whatever. The first experience I had with them was actually their shaker worm that came in the iCast box back in 2019. I think it was December 2019, which would have been like my first box, right? I basically signed up on Black Friday for a few different boxes, gave them all a try. Monster Bass is the one I stuck with. The shaker worm looked really cool, right? I was still new to I was still brand new to fishing in December of 2019, right? I only started fishing in September, and so I was still figuring out what I liked, what I wanted to fish, what techniques, things like that. And the shaker worm looked really interesting for going into that winter time when, from all that I've been told, fish are going to get a little bit more finicky. You're going to have to do them a little bit more finesse technique. Shaky head might be a good route. That said, that initial batch of shaker worms I got from them was a little too delicate. I put them on small light wire finesse or small wire shaky heads, and the plastic would break apart before it really even had a chance to get fished. Most notoriously is I put one on a drop shot one night, rigged everything up the night before because I was leaving really early, and I didn't know any better, and I nose hooked that shaker worm on my drop shot, and next morning I come out and that shaker worm is sitting on the ground and it's basically fallen off of the hook, right? It hasn't been bit by a fish, it just fell off. And so I was kind of disappointed, and I tried them a few different times after that and didn't have much luck. Fast forward a few more months, and another product from theirs comes out, the Ned Craw. All right, a little small Ned-sized craw bait. It's got two little wavy marabou arms and everything. It looked really good, right? But same thing, right? I put it onto a Ned head, and it kind of split apart. And so I was kind of frustrated, and I was like, well, one out of 5 baits, not a big deal. All the rest of the baits for the most part have been really good. Like, maybe it's just something with the plastic. Maybe it's something on the hooks I'm using. I don't know, right? Then the iCast box gets announced, and Rick puts out his video, every month of what's going to be in the box, and I see that RABID BAITS is going to be featured yet again with their new foxtail bait. And so I message Rick and his team and say, look, man, I know you're really big on this brand. It seems like they really want to work with you. I just wish there was something else that we could get in this month's box out here in the West, because those things don't really seem to work for me, and they seem to fall apart, honestly. And he messaged me back. Rick messaged me back, took the time, wrote me back, right? And told me that he'd been in contact with Bob over at RABID BAITS, and that they'd been working on, they'd been getting some feedback that was similar to mine, and that they'd changed the formulation, I guess, of the plastic they were using, so it was a little bit more resilient. And long story short, Bob himself from RABID BAITS reached out to me and said, hey man, I'm really sorry you had kind of a bum experience with our products in the past. I want to have a chance to make it up to you. So can I send you some baits and have you try them out? I'm going to send you some Ned hooks as well, so that you can try them out with hooks that we recommend, that we know work for them. All right, so a few days later, I've got a handful of craws and foxtails and a package of Woo tungsten Ned heads. And so I'm like, all right, well, man, this company really stands behind their product, right? So I'm gonna give it another try. And literally the next time out, I go fishing, and my daughter and I are fishing these RABID baits on these Woo tungsten heads, and real light wire hook, and bam, immediately start catching fish on them. And so I'm convinced, I'm sold, right? Literally the first time out with these things. I'm not a huge Ned fisherman to begin with, and Neds aren't huge where I fish, right? And it was still winter, right? We're still wintertime fishing, right? Cold water, 48, 50 degrees tops, and these things are working, right? They're working, and they're holding up, right? I mean, I had the same craw rigged on my hook for probably 2 weeks that I was catching fish on pretty consistently before I went and snagged it into a tree and broke off. But I guess that's just open exposed hooks. You're gonna snag and break them off every now and then, but the plastic held up the entire time. And so I'm a believer. I like their products. I think they're innovative, they're different, they're completely unique in the Ned industry, and making things for that finesse presentation like that. And so I went ahead and ordered their Ultimate Ned Bundle, which is their kind of, I guess, premier bundle. Comes with some Ned Craws and some foxtails, as well as some of their new tungsten Ned heads. So without any further ado, let's get this thing open, all right? Packing slip there. All right, first up, got the RABID Baits sticker, of course. This one is going on the boat. The last one I gave to my daughter, and she put, I don't know, somewhere, probably on her desk or something. She's been collecting a lot of fishing stickers. But that one for sure is going on the boat because, like I said, I'm a fan. I like these guys. First thing, their baits all come in the clamshell, which for some, I guess, is kind of inconvenient because they don't like the bulk of them. I think, however, for the fact that they come with this marabou on them like this, or I think it's marabou, it might be like some kind of fur, but whatever it is, you're going to want something to protect that so it's not getting all over the place, getting all tangled up and everything. First color we got here is the green pumpkin chartreuse. So it's a pretty nice color. It's got a little bit of that bright color up on top with the green pumpkin. That's going to be money around here. Next, we got a nice natural looking color there. It's called the St. Lawrence. It's kind of a brownish gray taupe kind of colored fur with the brown glittery body to it. Should be nice. I imagine that's going to work really well like in clear water, where they want a more natural presentation. Next up, got the green pumpkin black. All right, really simple, natural presentation. That's going to be kind of all around, I think. It's going to work in my everyday kind of situations where it's not super clear, not really muddy, kind of go-to. And this is the color Craw I've been using with lots of success. So that's definitely a go-to color. I'm going to save that one there for last. And then we've got the Monster Red. This was the Monster Bass color that they made. So it's got that kind of black with like little or excuse me, red with a little bit of black kind of fade in mixed in there with the red. And then you got the brown, kind of root beer brown color with red flake. Really good color. My daughter's been fishing the foxtail in this color and loves it. Next up, we got my favorite right here, the green pumpkin black craw. This thing works. Flat out catches fish, right? Those little arms are getting there and waving that. And then marabou stuff is just like sitting there. It doesn't matter if there's a ton of current or no current, you know, almost no perceivable current. That stuff just sitting there floating. So the fish just come right up and just munch on it. All right, the last one. So we got the craw in the St. Lawrence again. That's that kind of tannish brown, brownish gray marabou with the it's kind of a goldish brown, real light brown with gold and black flake. Like I said, I think this can work great in like the clear water situations where you want something that looks really natural. I think it's going to be great. And then you've got a couple packs of the RABID tungsten net heads. All right, those are great looking. All right, so you got 1/8 ounce little 3-pack, and I mean, you can tell those things have got, you know, they're a finesse thing. They still got a pretty stout hook on them, some high quality hooks on them, and then you've got the 1/4 ounce. All right, so nice solid filling thing. And then last, and save this one for last because I messaged Bob right after I put my order in and said, look, I just bought that Ultimate Ned Bundle. I'm really excited with your products. Really been having a lot of success with them. I was wondering if you could swap out one of the colors for the ghost color of the foxtail, because they posted on their Instagram a picture of a ghost foxtail on a swim bait head, and it just looked perfect, right? If you're fishing places where there's small minnows and things like that out there that the bass are eating, I mean, it just looks like the kind of thing that it's just going to get eaten. And so last thing in here is that foxtail in the ghost. I mean, look at that thing. It's got that white marabou with the clear body with some blue and gold flake in it, blue and silver flake. I mean, that thing is gonna be money. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm gonna throw this probably this weekend actually on a little swim bait head, and I've got some underspins. I'm really looking forward to throwing that. So, you know, not a bad deal. I mean, the bundle, they give you a good mix of the colors. All right, we got 6 different packs here. All right, kind of covers a variety of water clarity situations. Right, you got some stuff for, you know, darker cloudy water. You got stuff for the clear water, you know, and then you've got some really nice high quality tungsten net heads. Right, you know, nice packaging. They've got that little foam keeper in there so they're not rattling around, chipping each other, which they probably won't chip anyway, but you know, nice. So if you're looking for upping your Ned game, Ned's something you throw, take a look at RABID Baits. Right, highly recommend them. The owner is a great guy, seems to really care about his product, care about his customers, and goes out his way to take care of people. And right now in times like this where you could, you know, go into any big box store and you could buy things from whatever XYZ brand, I prefer to spend my money with companies that I have some kind of personal connection with, right? Things are tough for a lot of companies out there, especially these smaller bait companies, you know, that, you know, they may not have the reach that the big guys do. And so if they're making a product that you like, support them. Get out there, fish, buy their product, tell people about their product, and you know, let's get some great competition going in the fishing world. Talk to y'all later. bye.